on the field. The pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beaches is singing Fight, Balls, Fight. The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Things are starting to pick up down in Knoxville. We're just a few weeks away from kicking off this football season. The Vols were out on the practice field yesterday in full pads for the first time of this fall camp, getting ready for the first scrimmage, which takes place tomorrow. A lot of questions to be answered tomorrow. Who's going to lock down that left tackle position? Also, some buzz about Tamarion McDonald making a push at that star position. I'm excited to see what the secondary looks like as we move forward. But again, just a lot of questions. Business really starts to pick up once you get to that first scrimmage. But business is also going to pick up right here on the Talkin' VAWLS Network next Wednesday, August the 17th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to kick things off with a fan call-in show. That's where you, the members of the channel, get an opportunity to come on and make this your show. We're going to follow that up on the 24th. We're firing up our regular midweek show. So as of August the 24th, every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you're going to get Talkin' VAWLS live right here on the Talkin' VAWLS Network. And then obviously we kick things off on September the 1st. We will be doing our first post-game show of the season immediately following that Ball State game. So again, business is picking up. It's football time in Tennessee, but we also need to talk a little recruiting, because I put out a recruiting update last week, kind of mentioned Rickey Gibson. He's a 3-star corner, according to 24/7 Sports, according to Rivals. On3.com has him as a 4-star prospect. Coming off of his visit to Georgia, a lot of people saying this is a done deal. He is going to the Bulldogs, but there are some things that have changed in that recruitment. We're going to get into it and talk about it. But as always, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin' VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are fans just like you. So if you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Try to drop a video every day. But like I said, the live streams are getting ready to pick up soon. Every single Tuesday, still going to be live 6:30. Playing NCAA, but our midweek shows, post-game shows, Sunday fan call-in shows, going to be a lot of content coming your way over the next couple of months. So make sure you're subscribed to all that good stuff. But let's jump into this article. Again, this is from on3sports.com. Rickey Gibson sets his commitment date. This is from Chad Simmons. You can see here it's coming down to Georgia, Penn State, and Tennessee for the Alabama cornerback Rickey Gibson, and he will announce his decision on August the 14th to honor his parents' anniversary. And it's kind of weird to me to see that Penn State made his final 3, because when you go back to June, it sounded like he was coming off of a visit with Tennessee. It sounded like it was coming down to just Tennessee and Arkansas, that those were the only 2 teams really in play. Excuse me. And then Georgia started to show a little bit of interest. They hosted him for a workout. They gave him an offer back in June. And then really things started to pick up with Georgia, and Arkansas kind of fell off the map. And then Penn State magically finds themselves in the final 3 here. It goes on to say, I will be announcing on August the 14th to honor my parents' anniversary. The quote from Gibson says, I'm ready to get this done. He says, I thought about committing on August the 5th, but instead I want to do this on a special day for my parents. A 6 foot, 165-pound 3-star may have the date locked in, but is his mind completely made up? He says, I would say I'm not all the way there yet. I'm going back and forth a little, but I'm getting close. By the time I get to the commitment date, I will be ready. I know I am getting closer. And again, kind of interesting, just the fact that just a couple of months ago, it was a Tennessee-Arkansas battle. And then Georgia enters the game late. You know, he went there, worked out, they gave him the offer. Then you hit the recruiting dead period. And things kind of go quiet, not a lot going on because coaches can't interact. Once they open back up towards the end of July, Georgia gets him on campus for a visit. And going into that visit, you know, all the recruiting talk, places like VolQuest, 24/7 Sports, all the talking heads were saying it's going to come down to this visit with Georgia. Does Georgia win that visit? Coming off of that visit, everybody said it's a done deal to Georgia. Steve Wiltfong put in his crystal ball at that time. Even when I put out the recruiting update last week, it was over. He's going to Georgia. We need to move on. We need to start talking about Jordan Matthews. Can we get him in the boat? Because when you look at the class of 23, Tennessee needs some corners. The only corner we have committed in the class of 23 is Christian Conyer, which is a good one. That's a good one. One of the top players out of the state of Kentucky. Outside of that, you got a lot of safeties, and maybe there is some versatility there. Maybe they're recruiting. Tim Banks talked about coaching, recruiting defensive backs, not corners or safeties, so maybe that's what they'll look to do. You've got Sylvester Smith committed. He's a safety. John Slaughter, also a safety. Jack Luttrell in the boat. But as far as true corners, Christian Conyer is the only corner that you have committed in the class of 23. So I was ready to move on. I was ready to go talk about Jordan Matthews. But now, just recently, Austin Price over at VAWLS was asked specifically about Rickey Gibson, as we're all throwing our hands up in the air, giving up, saying it's over. Austin Price said it felt like Georgia the last couple of weeks, but it certainly feels like this weekend has seen a change in the wind back to Tennessee. Says it's a long way till next week, but the Vols seem to have momentum. So what that tells me is this thing is not over. Now, does that mean it's a lock to Tennessee? It's a done deal? No, absolutely not. What it shows you is how fluid recruiting actually is. Because coming off of the visit, there's that high, the emotions are high, you're excited about what you've just seen, and then you kind of go home, you relax, you decompress, you talk to your parents, and then you kind of look at the overall picture of things. So it's a positive there that Tennessee was able to make some momentum this past weekend and kind of get back in the race there. And like AP says, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to go to that commitment date, but also it's a long way to go to signing day. Recruiting is going to continue to change as we work our way to the early signing period. Goes on to say here, Gibson said the final three schools have all done a great job establishing relationships with him and his family. Relationships will play a big role in his decision, but there is more to it. He says player development is very important to me. I want to go into a good situation with coaches that can develop me and make me better. The relationships and how I will be used, all will be a big part of the decision. So he goes on to talk about each of the schools here. But, it's kind of talking about player development, putting guys in the league. It just goes hand in hand with what we've talked about with Josh Heupel in this offense. How do you start landing big-time wide receivers? Well, you continue to put wide receivers in the league. And you were able to do that with Velus Jones. Javonte Payton didn't get drafted, ended up on a roster. You've got to put Cedric Tillman into the league. Best case scenario for us would be that Brew McCoy comes in, balls out, he's a one and done, and gone. And then you replace him and you continue to build this roster, but you're proving and showing guys in the class of 24, guys in the class of 25 that you can develop and get wide receivers into the league. No difference for Willie Martinez. Alontae Taylor getting drafted, huge. Theo Jackson getting drafted, huge. That's showing guys like Rickey Gibson that we can develop talent and get them into the league. You got to continue to do it on a year-in basis. This is what Rickey Gibson likes about Georgia. Says it's all about elite competition. I like the school. They have great players. The competition level at Georgia really stands out. I was at Georgia over the weekend, and that visit gave them a big boost for me. My time with the coaches, talking to players and commitments, and just getting to know more about the people has Georgia up there. What do you guys think about this? Like, hit the comment section. What do you think about Georgia? It's almost like the Alabama of the East. Because, again, back in June, Georgia wasn't even in the conversation. Wasn't sure if he would even get have a spot at Georgia. He goes up, works out. They like him, give him the offer. All of a sudden, Georgia's right up to the top. Seems pretty easy, right? Meanwhile, Tennessee working those relationships, trying to get guys in the boat. Georgia sweeps in, says, we'll take this guy, and that guy over there in the corner. And boom, they're gone to Georgia. It's over and done. I don't think it's really about relationships if somebody can cherry pick you that late in the game. Goes on to talk about Penn State, which again is just weird to me that it's Penn State, not Arkansas. Says they've been recruiting me hard. They've gotten to know me, my parents. They've shown a lot of interest in me. I grew up dreaming of playing in the Big Ten, so Penn State is a school I like a lot. They have produced a lot of top players too. Tennessee, visited Tennessee 4 times, talking about relationships, right? Talk about building relationships, that being a big factor, relationships, player development. Visited Tennessee 4 times. Says they have been on me hard since the end of last season. The consistency with them means a lot. Tennessee has shown me that they really want me. I like the fans, the people, the fans, and the coaches at Tennessee too. They have a good recruiting class coming together, and I really like the situation there for me. So again, what he has to say about Tennessee kind of goes hand in hand with what he had to say is important to him. as he narrows down his decision, gets close to making a decision. I like Rickey Gibson. I think we need to add him to this class of 23. He's long, athletic, got good speed. This coaching staff likes his ability to play press coverage. I think he would fit into this scheme perfectly. Hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Does Tennessee have a shot with Rickey Gibson? We all thought it was over and done with just a week ago, but now here we are. Tennessee making a push this past weekend as we head into the commitment date. But hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. If you have not done so yet, make sure you smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merchandise, bonfire.com/store/talkinballs. And just a reminder, next Wednesday, 7 p.m., we kick off the first fan call-in show. Now, how do you become a part of that? How can you be on air talking Vol football with Boogie, with Dauber, with the Elite, with JP? You never know who's going to be on hand. You have to join the channel. You have to become a member of the channel. The link is in the description below, or you can hit that join button just down below, right beside subscribe. Hit that join button. And to become a member of the fan call-in, it's $5 or $10 a month. You can see all the perks are listed. Or if you just want to financially contribute to what we're doing, you can join for as little as 99 cents a month. We would greatly appreciate it, but also you get some perks along the way. Thank you guys for the support. We appreciate it. That's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.